All right, today I want to talk about Halloween. Spending Halloween alone, which it's not really big of an issue. I was never too big on Halloween at all, but I mainly want to talk about Halloween within my age group. College Halloween. When you're in your 20s and still in college, pretty much like how you celebrate Halloween is, you get drunk, you go to Halloween parties. You meet people, make friends, get laid, whatever, while I just sit in my room and rot. I kind of missed out. Well, I didn't kind of miss out. I did miss out on those experiences, but, it is what it is. And I was just thinking about this right now. Even at my old job, they used to sell alcohol, and literally during the last couple days of Halloween, there'd be young people. They would either be at a Halloween party, coming from one or going to one, and they'd be dressed up, smiling. And then keep in mind, I was on the register doing this, they had me on the register during the holidays because not too many workers and all that. And I would go on the register every now and then, and they would be so happy, yeah, we're going to a party. Yeah. They'd be all dressed up, happy, smiling. And, meanwhile, I'm still working. It's 9, 10 p.m. and I'm just damn, it's over. You kind of get to that point in life, where I assume as I get older too, when this happens, if I'm working in retail and I'm ringing up a 6-pack of beer or something to a young couple going to a Halloween party, all smiling and happy, you just kind of are damn, it's over for me now, man. But yeah, it's kind of the feeling I had last year. I'm damn, where did my life go? These people are not much older than me or the same age. And it's I feel I'm old now. What's going on, it just feels extra over, and especially now, again, I keep repeating it, but I keep seeing people from high school, and I think I finally figured out the reason for this. I think it's because, it's been 4 years since high school, and basically everyone's gotten their bachelor's degrees now. Everyone's graduated high school or is graduating. I know most people, I'd say easily half of the people I went to high school with have graduated. So I think that's the reason why I'm seeing so many of them. But it's literally everywhere I go. I'll be in my head, I'll be praying, please don't let me see anybody, please. And I'll walk in and I'll just see somebody. I'll be yep, there we go. There it is, But apparently, my old high school had a miniature reunion high school party, where everybody from my high school got together, and I didn't even know about it. If I knew about this shit, cause everyone was invited, if I knew about this shit earlier, I would have 100% gone to it, just for content. And I probably would have recorded it because I'm at a point in my life, I don't give a shit, just record every interaction, talking. That would be fucking hilarious, But, apparently that happened. I just feel I was damn, I missed that one chance, that one, I don't know. I probably could have, made up for lost memories, but I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I think that's the reason, because just people getting their bachelor's degrees and trying to find jobs here. And oh yeah, that reminds me too. I was on Instagram literally last night. I don't know, just I couldn't sleep. I was just out of curiosity, I gotta stop doing this, and for anyone watching this, stay off of Instagram, because all that shit does is depress you. You see a bunch of people who you used to talk to and know that are just moving on with life, having fun. Or you could see, I swear to God, you could see the opposite, because I was just looking up random kids I used to go to high school with, just to I don't know, see what they're doing, and some of them are balding and the receding hairlines, and I'm oh shit, so you'll see a couple of those, but those are rare. But I don't know, I just kind of go on it, see what they're doing in life, Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm back, I don't know why. I just was kind of curious. If I was still living down south, I wouldn't care. I'd probably just, I don't know, just not care. There's nothing else. I just wouldn't care as much. But now that I'm back, it's just old memories and things that happened to me that just can't really get out of my head anymore. And, you know, people tell me all the time, like, oh, bro, don't compare your life to other people, bro. You got to move forward and forget the past. And then, you know, they'll be like, oh, just be stoic. I've had some trauma happen to me, but I look forward. And listen, like, I'm going to be like the first person to, like, you know, actually say this. I mean, you don't know what people are thinking. Like, I can literally sit here and tell you guys, like, oh, move forward from the past, move on, don't compare yourself to others. And then late at night, I'm looking at all the people I went to high school, you know, on their Instagrams being like, damn, you know, why couldn't I be normal? Like, why couldn't I have friends still and, you know, have a girlfriend and go out all the time and just be normal? And, like, you don't know what people are really truly thinking at all. You don't, you know, you really don't. Like, people could be like, oh, I got over my trauma, you got to stop thinking about it. And then late at night, they're crying over it. It's like, these things never leave you guys. You got to understand that. Like, you can't just forget certain things. You know, as much as nice as it sounds, you can try and cope and say, oh, I'm stoic now. But all it takes is something to just, like, trigger a bad memory, and then you're just thinking about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was just, like, looking at that. And, like, I just ended up, like, stumbling upon, like, one of my one-itises, which I've had like a handful. I've had like maybe 4 or 5 one-itises, you know, during my whole like high school career. And man, like, I was looking at her Instagram, like one of my one-itises, and she must have gained, I'm not even joking, probably like anywhere from like 75 to 100 pounds within the past, like, you know, 4 years. I was looking at pictures of her. She has like over like 1,000 Instagram posts. I was looking at pictures of her from, you know, when we were seniors, and she used to look like Margot Robbie. Like, she was just like very, like, everyone had a crush on her, like literally, including myself, you know, everybody had a crush on her. And I don't know what happened. Like, she just let herself go. I mean, I don't know if it's from like the partying and all the alcohol or a bad diet or whatever, but she literally like doesn't even look the same anymore. Like, she looks like a divorced, like, single mom. Like, she looks like she's like approaching her 40s, even though she's only like 22, 23. And it's just like so brutal, you know. And I was like, damn. And like, she made a post, you know, before, like, she made one, like, of course, you know, on the Halloween party, and then the one before it was like her graduating with a bachelor's, and you know, shouting out her sorority. And I ended up checking it out. I was just like so curious, and I was looking. Basically what they did was they took like a picture, like, you know, of the sorority, and basically, you know, all the girls like that graduated, like their degrees. And I was just like scrolling through all these descriptions, like just reading all the degrees, like just out of curiosity. Cause first off, her degree was like a psychology. I noticed that, like, when I was in college, guys, like, I didn't know a single girl that went there that wasn't going for either sociology or psychology. That was it. That was just it. That was all they ever went for. And I was just checking them out. You know, reading the descriptions, I saw social media marketing. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you gonna do with that degree? You fucking wipe your ass? Like, what do you, like, seriously? Oh, I'll help set up your Instagram post for your company. Pay me 40 grand. Like, that's like what a social media it just sounds like such a meme degree, you know. And it's like, you spent 4 years, and they all have minors and stuff, like minors, sociology, a minor in theater. There was not one like useful, like, I mean, I'm one to talk. I mean, I have a useless degree myself, but it's like, you know, the thing about this too, what's so brutal is that, you know, I assume that all of them, you know, haven't had jobs. They were just like partying, having fun in college. Now they have this extremely useless degree, and they're in for a rude awakening. They have no experience with any jobs. And I'm just, you know, looking through all these useless degrees. I'm like, damn, these girls are fucked, you know? Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just brutal. And it's funny too, because South Park literally just made an episode, which, I mean, it did motivate me to actually like consider, you know, maybe doing plumbing or some sort of like a hands-on type of work, because the whole episode, I mean, I recommend you watch it. It was kind of funny. All the adults, they're telling the kids, oh, you guys, you rely on AI too much. You gotta do things like a real man. And basically what ended up happening is they all just, like, things will start breaking, and they're like, you gotta do what a man does, and they'll end up calling the handyman, And since everybody's calling him, nobody knows how to do anything. Nobody knows how to fix anything. He's just like extremely busy. People are paying him like millions of dollars to like fix a toilet. And he becomes rich, and then they end up blaming college. They're like, we got useless degrees. We're still paying our debt. We need our money back. It's just so funny. It's literally like the epitome of like what I've been talking about for like the past couple months, you know, with like college, and you know how, again, like nobody really knows how to do anything. Most people aren't mechanically inclined at all. And I don't know, the whole episode was funny, but even just looking at this was just like, it was just like that whole South Park episode. Like I'm just looking at all these useless degrees that like all these sorority girls are graduating with. I'm like, yeah, they're like, what job can you know, 10 girls in a row have a psychology major? What are you doing with that? You know, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But now that I'm still talking about the Instagram thing, I keep getting recommended, you know, Barstool Sports. You know, it's like these Instagram pages where basically it's just college content, like a bunch of college kids having fun, you know, getting drunk, doing dumb things. And, you know, you'll watch it and it's like, damn, you know, you'll never have this, you know, like all that fun. Like as I'm getting older, it's like, you know, I kind of like missed out on that like university experience, because I think university is definitely better than high school if you like go to one. I mean, obviously it's not good for your wallet, but like if you want to meet people and like, you know, get a girlfriend, that's probably your best odd in your whole life. From my opinion, I think that's because you got to keep in mind, like a couple years ago, I had a friend who invited me to his frat house. He was in a frat, and oh my God, it's like literally something out of like a movie, like, because first off, it was in the city, not, you know, where I live. I'm not going to say where it was, but it was in the city, and it was like these houses, and every single house, it was like for blocks, they were all rented out to frats and sororities. And at night, guys, you couldn't even, there's just people everywhere, you know, in the streets, in and out of houses. And oh God, can you imagine I just thought about this right now. Imagine being a cop in that has to monitor that. Imagine being a 40-year-old balding cop. You know, the hair follicles are just flying off left and right, especially if, you know, the kids are doing something and getting drunk and you got to arrest them. But that's what you're doing. You're chasing down drunk kids who are stealing stop signs, breaking stuff, fighting. And, you know, you got to deal with this, you know, and you're thinking in your head, like, damn, I miss those college days. You know, damn, I wish I was young again. And that's all you got to deal with as a cop. You're like, damn, I wish I was young. I wish I was, you know, reckless and doing dumb things. I wish I was doing that again. And that must suck, you know, 'cause you have constant reminders. I mean, especially, you know, if you're a balding cop, you get to see like, you know, all the full heads of hair, just being like, damn, I miss my hair. Damn, I miss my youth. I miss having fun. And you got to deal with that. That sounds like hell. That's like literally something out of like hell. But yeah, that's like pretty much how it was. Like, just every place was like filled, just college kids everywhere. And it just seems like the number one place to you know, meet people. And, you know, the one thing I'm glad I never did was socially drink. You know, when I was going to like these frat parties that I got invited to, like, because I mean, of course, like I'm always socially anxious. Like I don't really talk to many people. Obviously, like I never met anybody at these things, and you know, oh my God, like people all the time would tell me, you're a pussy, bro. Drink, bro. Drink. It'll loosen you up, bro. You won't be so awkward talking to girls, bro. Just drink. And I'm so glad I didn't, because like, first off, I didn't even understand what alcohol did to you until, you know, I turned 21 and, you know, tried it for the first time. But, you know, it decreases social anxiety, increases dopamine. And it's like, you know, the subhuman experience on alcohol, it's basically, you know, if I ever, like, first off, I'd probably end up making an ass out of myself and wake up in jail with like a sexual harassment charge or something. You know what I mean? Just for saying hi. You want to know what's crazy too? That I noticed about, you know, if you're the subhuman experience on alcohol is that, and this is fucking crazy to me, and I've seen it firsthand, people use that as an excuse to fuck with you and hurt you. Like, for example, they'll beat your ass and they'll say, oh, it's because he's drunk and obnoxious. But when the reality is they've been wanting to do this the whole time. You know, they've been planning it, and this was their excuse. You being drunk and you just happen to get jumped and getting a whooping, you know? And, yeah, I've seen it all. It's just not good, you know, the subhuman experience on alcohol. And it's funny too, because like, you know, if you're tall and attractive and, you know, you really don't even have a reason to drink in the first place. I mean, people are just kind of naturally, you know, gravitated towards you. You know, they want to talk to you. Oh, you play basketball? Oh, you're handsome. Wow. And there's too many conversation starters, you know, positive ones at least. And it's just a different world. It really is, you know, just a completely different world. And, you know, even if they do drink, people will be like, oh, you're drunk, calm down. And it's just different. It's just completely different. So I'm glad I never socially drank. It's better to stay socially anxious because, you know, I don't believe that social anxiety, like people are born with that. I think it's something that comes from, you know, years of negative reinforcement. I mean, you know, if you're constantly, you know, being bullied for your looks and your physical appearance and, you know, people just, you know, look at you with the face of disgust and don't want to talk to you, you kind of develop like this sort of, you know, anxious feeling. And it's, you know, it works for you because, you know, most people who are outgoing, you know, you notice this too, like, again, with like the alcohol, you're more outgoing. People just like want to get away from you. Like, oh, stop talking. And that's when the whole harassment thing happens. Cause it's like, I don't want to deal with this man. Like, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean? So you end up making an ass out of yourself when you really try not to. And I'll never forget, like, this was like, I think this was like one of my like first couple videos. I had this friend who basically, you know, unfortunately just over, you know, he ended up trying to get with this girl that was out of his league. And, you know, he got drunk, and I'll never forget, like, we were sleeping in his, you know, in his bed on the floor, and he was in his bed, you know, still a little drunk, and he was like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do? What did I do? And, you know, at this point, you know, I'm trying to tell him, like, you did nothing wrong, dude. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, she just wasn't attracted to you, and he thought, like, he genuinely did something wrong. And he was like, what did I do? What did I do? And the whole thing was just, like, kind of awkward, too. Like, I remember it, like, she just, like, got really uncomfortable and stormed out, like, from him. And it was just, like, the most brutal thing to fucking watch in my life, you know? But, yeah, I miss him, you know? But it is what it is. I'm here now, but I'm trying to think what else. Oh, yeah, I did end up actually going to a Halloween party, but it was sort of a family gathering with a bunch of people older than myself. Like, I didn't do anything. I literally sat at the table, just basically talking to my godmother's husband, who was just completely hammered and sloshed. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know any single, like, middle-aged, like, man, like, like, you know, in his 30s plus, who doesn't drink, you know, especially after work. Like, I swear to God, you know, especially even my own father and my uncles, like, it's just like after work, you just hear a crack of a can. Like, the second the fucking car, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if they're cracking one on the drive home, you know? It's just like these dudes, and especially, you know, this guy's Russian and he just drinks a lot. He pretty much, you know, at first he was like fine. Like, he was talking to me. He can't really understand his accent that well. Like, his English isn't too good. And, you know, he was drinking beer, and then all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, he just got fucked up. Like, I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess that's how alcohol works. You know, you're fine 1 minute, and then the next minute you're like, what's that? Like, you can't even fucking talk. And, yeah, he just couldn't. He was, like, slurring so bad, and, you know, on top of the accent, I couldn't even understand him. You know, you could smell it on his breath. Like, it just, like, can't, like, out of nowhere, he just got fucked up, and I was like, oh, shit. I mean, he drank at least, like, 2 liters of, you know, like 7% beer, you know, in the span of, like, an hour. But, and he said he was drinking before that. And, you know, basically, like, I just sat next to him, like, his wife, you know, my godmother kept, telling him to stop drinking. Like, she was getting so mad. And, like, I swear to God, it's like, it's the same with, like, every like middle-aged and older couple guys. I'm telling you, the husband, he can't cope with something. I don't know. I think it's the marriage. I don't know what it is, but, you know, they got to drink at every family function. And basically, you know, what ends up happening is the wife, you know, ends up getting so pissed because he's drinking so much, and, you know, they end up screaming. And that it's like like you go to any family gathering, guys, and I mean any family gathering, there's always going to be a husband, preferably like the oofy doofy ones, that get drunk, like they get way too drunk, and their wife is screaming at him. But yeah, she kept yelling at him to stop drinking. He kept cracking him open and drinking more. And like, yeah, he was just telling me, and keep in mind, like, the dude's like, you know, approaching his 50s, and he pretty much told me that, you know, he went to the doctor and his health isn't doing good. You know, his liver's not doing good because, like, he's a daily heavy drinker. I mean, it's the, you know, the Russian. I mean, you know, they just are known for drinking, and he just drinks a lot every single day. And he was just telling me, like, oh, I'm going to stop drinking. And he just kept chugging them. And he's like, after the holidays, I'm done. And I'm like, I don't know. I just found it, like, comical. Like, I just couldn't stop laughing. And he ended up, like, trying to set me up with, you know, my godmother's brother's girlfriend. I don't know. Hopefully that made sense. But basically, this guy passed away not too long ago. Which, I mean, it's a long story. He passed away, I think, like in his early 30s, and his girlfriend is like, I think, like late 20s, like a couple years older than me. And he like tried, like, you know, hooking me up with her apparently. And it was just so cringe and awkward. It's like, you know, this woman, like, she's still mourning the loss of her, you know, her boyfriend who just died. And it's like, I don't know. I just think that's like so fucked up. I don't know if I'm like the only one. Like, if I had like a girlfriend that died or something, I don't know if I'd want to like move on right away or at all even. It just seems like so disrespectful. I don't know if it's just me, but like, you know, anyone who passes away and then, you know, immediately a week later you're in a new relationship, that just seems so disrespectful and messed up to me, man. I don't know. But yeah, all the adults were drinking. And by adults I mean all the married men were drinking. And I was just sitting there, you know, just minding my own business, talking to this guy for the whole time, you know. And my mom was talking to everybody. My mom, it's so fucking funny because my mom doesn't drink at all. She has no like drinks of alcohol, and she's still more, what is it, like what's the word I'm looking for, like not socially anxious, like more like outgoing than the people who are drunk. Like, she's still more talkative and outgoing than the people who are drinking, you know. But yeah, I don't know. The dude was like just telling me, like, what do you want to do with your life? You gotta figure things out. And you know, you gotta understand, like, he gave me his number and all that stuff, but you gotta understand, like, drunk people, when you talk to drunk people and they promise you things, they're gonna forget who you are. Because I remember, like, not too long ago, maybe like a year ago, I was talking to this guy in the bar who was just absolutely just hammered out of his mind. You know, I was just like completely fine. And he was telling me about how he makes like so much money. He's like, I can help you out, bro. Give me your number, bro. Give me your number. And, you know, I gave him the number and I just heard nothing, you know. Same thing. Oh, that's another thing. I remember when I used to make music, I was playing some beats for this kid who was sloshed, hammered. It was like a fucking Saturday morning and he was wasted. They were like partying all day. And yeah, this was like at my friend's frat house. And, I was playing beats. He's like, man, this shit go fucking hard, man. This shit go so hard. Yo, let me get the number. Oh my God, let me get the number. So I gave him the number and I never heard anything. He probably went in his phone and was like, who the fuck is this kid? You know, probably. And like, again, like, this is at the time I didn't know what alcohol did to you. So I'm like, you know, I didn't know that you forget shit. I didn't know that, like, exactly how it works, you know? So yeah, I mean, there was that. And just don't trust when people are drunk promising you things. Because, like, he was telling me, he's like, you gotta get your life together, figure it out, and, you know, all that stuff. And I can't really understand him because of his accent. I can't even imitate it because it's like so, like, it's just like a weird accent. I don't really know how to, like, you know, describe it or imitate it. But yeah, he's just telling me, he's like, you gotta take, just telling me like all this like blue pilled, like cliche garbage advice that just like went in, because it's meaningless. He just kept saying like, oh, get on your feet, life will hand you things and you gotta accept and move on your own and be a man. And it's just like in one ear and out the other, you know what I mean? And obviously him trying to set me up with this girl's, deceased, obviously, like, her deceased boyfriend, he passed away, and now he's trying to set me up with her. I was just like, yeah, it's just, like, over at this point, obviously, like, it was just awkward. Like, we just stared at each other and, like, no words were said, because it's like, I don't know, it's just fucking weird. But that's all I did. That's all I did. There's some jester maxing going on, once, later in the night. I swear to God, I didn't leave that table. I just sat at that table because, like, I'm not going to waste my time, going up. Because, again, these people weren't anywhere near my age range. Like, they're all in their, like, late 30s, maybe, if I'm lucky, early 30s, 40s and 50s. Like, what am I going to, like, I don't know. So people would, like, come up to me and ask me some questions, and I would answer back, but it just, I don't know, it's just different, when you get older, I guess. But, at least I had that, usually I'm not really a fan of family gatherings. I mean, of course, this one, it was like nothing really special at all, but, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Kind of losing my voice since I've been talking for so much, but yeah.